hate puppies.
It's a good podcast.
I feel threatened.
Let the good times roll. Go Saints.
Yeah, laissez-vous. How do you say that in French?
Yeah,
I have to pull it up again.
Ah.
That one misses me.
Yeah, I don't know that one off the top of my head either.
I took Latin, not French.
There you go. Well, you were already in Louisiana, so you figured.
We're getting close to Mardi Gras, too.
Yep, that'll be coming up shortly.
I wonder if COVID will prevent that from happening.
What'd they do last year?
It was before COVID.
It wasn't quite.
Because it's in February. It's usually at the end of February, right?
Well, it's end of February. It could be into March sometimes.
So we wholeheartely blame Mardi Gras.
I mean, if there's going to be a super spreader event.
That's what I'm saying.
If you've ever been to Mardi Gras,
That's a super.
it's a hell of a good time.
I mean, everyone wears their masks up over their eyes and not over their mouth like a bunch of idiots, and no condoms allowed. I think that qualifies as a super spreader.
February 16th.
Yeah. I want to go back. I want to take the family.
To Mardi Gras?
Yeah. It's a hell of a family experience. It can be.
What?
Yeah.
It's an educational
Have you ever been?
opportunity for the kids.
No, I've been to New Orleans. I've never enjoyed.
So I've been to Mardi Gras twice. Went once in 99, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't even 21 and went down.
Irrelevant at Mardi Gras.
Well, yeah. Drove down with a fraternity brother, just he and I. Shout out to Dom. We stayed at his parents. He grew up down there. And we basically went to the parades. His dad was in a big crew, one of the bigger crews in Endymion. But we went to Bourbon Street every night. So we did what you think Mardi Gras is, right? Like the boobs, beads, nuts to butts, everybody, around each other. Then had the chance to go back in 2007 for a wedding with my fiance at the time. And it was with another family that we knew down there. And we did the more family-friendly.
And they had kids?
Yeah, and they had kids, and it was an extended family. Mm-hmm. And we went to all the, suburban areas and watched all the family-friendly parades. And, yeah, you see a lot of people drinking. But, I mean, it wasn't nearly what you think it is in your mind's eye.
Did you still see titties?
I don't think I did, no.
No.
You're
not going to in the family stuff.
Then I am not going.
I mean, it's literally the difference of being at an event that we have in Richmond, say, like a Shamrock the Block or something, downtown. Yeah. And then going to where we are in Midlothian and watching a parade go by.
It's Shamrock the Block versus the Easter parade.
Yeah, but
I've only done the Easter parade once, and I blacked out, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean Easter on parade? It's
Easter
not even
on
a parade.
Yeah. I remember when we first moved here from Louisiana. Somebody told my parents, "Hey, go down to Monument Avenue, see the Easter parade," and we're like, "Okay, great." We got down there. I don't know. 9:30, 10 a.m., picked a spot thinking it was going to be something like Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
And there was just people walking by. And after about 45 minutes, my dad asked somebody and says, "Where's the parade?" And they're like, we are the parade.
It is
start walking.
Quite a bad name. Like Easter on parade makes no sense.
Yeah, because you're the parade, I guess, Yeah. It's like Facebook just
It's fun, though.
You're the client, or you're what we're selling.
But yeah, I'd love to go back. I'd love to go back there for Mardi Gras and take the family and do all the family fun versions of it. Because once you've done the 20-year-old version on Bourbon Street with a fraternity brother, there's no need to go back at 42 and try to relive that. Like nothing good can come of that.
It's
that just sounds like an arrest waiting to happen.
Here, you want a little pro tip about New Orleans? If anyone does go down there, does some little New Orleans action. I have found this out. Or no, let me change it. Somebody told me.
This isn't first-hand knowledge.
That if you're in the strip clubs there, this is how you know it wasn't me.
We'll call him Menden.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, Crendon Benedy. Yeah. So my boy Menden's down there, right? And he comes back.
That wild and crazy guy.
He is crazy. And what he learned was that if you go to the ATM machine, it's like they don't have a flat fixed fee. It's the craziest thing
Huh.
I've ever seen. Like I went in there. I mean, Menden. God. So Menden goes.
Well,
in
you heard
there.
the story so many times, you feel like it's your own. I
Yeah,
think
'cause
is the problem.
He's always telling that.
He's
story.
always telling you that story.
So yeah, it's a really good way to look at it. Jordan.
Special friend.
But so Menden goes in there, and he uses the ATM, and he goes, and the rule of thumb is if you're going to hit an ATM,
Get it all.
get it all,
Yep.
because
Yeah.
you're going to pay far too much for that money. It's okay if you leave with $300 in your pocket, but
Yeah.
you certainly don't want to spend the $50 that you were going to get and
Yep.
then realize you need another $100.
Yeah. The worst
That's-
is when you were broke and you would have to hit those ATM machines and pay the, $4 to pull out 20. Like that's just like the worst financial decision you can make in your life.
Menden hits his pin, very similar to mine, and it says $20, and Menden's like, that's ridiculous. I'm not spending
Service fee.
service fee. So
Okay.
Menden says I'm not
Right.
paying
Yeah.
this. And one of the nice girls who works there walked up and was like, just cancel it and try again. See if you like that rate better. And I was like, really? Fuck
And Minden was like,
yeah.
Random.
So take it out, put it back in, redo it, and it's like $15.
what?
And I'm like, wait a minute. Let me try this. It canceled, went in, $10. I was like,
Oh, wow.
good deal. I'll take 10.
You can negotiate with a computer ATM machine in
You
New
can
Orleans? I
negotiate-
mean, Minden can.
You can negotiate with anything in a strip club in New Orleans, is what I learned. Everything's negotiable. I did not know that.
That is crazy. I never in a million years would have thought a ATM machine had a negotiation feature.
I guess if it's the same card going in, or it's just randomizing
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
see where people say no and where people say yes.
Yeah.
But it went down, and I got it at 10. Or Menden
I
made
guess
a
that
killing.
wouldn't
I would've-
be a big, thing for a programmer to program
No.
in there. Like,
No.
let's see. You got to think, all right, you're at a strip club. Minden's at a strip club. Minden's been overserved. Minden might not care what the fee is. Let's put 20. And if
Changing.
Minden says no, we'll drop it. We don't care. We're making money either way.
Yeah. And the money's coming right back into the system. That's how it works. Like that $10 is going to end up somewhere in here.
Yeah.
It just might be in the form of a $10 course.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd mind going back for more money at the ATM if it was for said strip club that said Menden went to. But hitting the ATM up back and forth at a casino, that was brutal. I think I would pull everything out I need to one time and
It's
then
the
be
same
able to
thing.
say no.
Yeah, it's the same thing. If you're going to
Treat
take
it the
out
same
money,
way.
take out all the money that you're
Yeah.
willing to possibly spend.
Well, but at a strip club, you got a commodity that I think you know what you're going to get for the most part.
No, you don't. You
Yeah,
never
well,
know what
you
you're going to get. Those places are the worst.
We
It's
still
like
have
a box of chocolates.
We don't
Yeah.
know. We don't know what we're going to get. We still haven't found Menden.
No.
I would say in all walks of life, whether it be a strip club or a casino, go to the ATM once
Yeah.
and then don't go back.
Take
No,
out your
that was-
absolute
Nothing
limit.
good is coming of your second trip to the ATM. I can guarantee you that. You'll never be happy you went back to the ATM multiple times.
I was in one night. I saw a dude go back 4 different times, like throughout the
At
night.
strip club or a casino?
Strip club.
Because it's just as sad either way.
Oh,
Yeah, except you might win in a casino.
that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Like even if you air quote win in a strip club, you've
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah.
You have made a horrible decision.
It may follow you later.
Yeah, like you're not
You
going to
might
wake
be
up.
taking something home you didn't want to take home.
You can wake up after a night in Vegas and be like, I really made a good choice. I really did. You never wake up after a strip club and think that was worth it.
Or
good thinking.
Or
Menden.
even if you've lost a ton of money, you can still kind of like normalize it. Like, yes, I lost $1,000, but you know what? I was there for 12 hours and I had a good time and that was fun.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
you're not doing that after a bad night at the strip club.
no, they never go. You sure are looking at a lot of women. Drinks are on us.
Yeah.
Right.
Doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's how I justified when I went up to the Greenbrier. It was 5-6 hours. I think we were up 8, went down 7, got back. I think I was out $850 after it's all said and done. No winnings, but I was like, dude, I had fun playing craps.
You sound
and
like
drinking,
every
you know.
delinquent gambler I know.
It was fun though. Played craps all evening.
See, me losing $850 is not fun, no matter how much time I got out of it.
Well, I have a friend who taught me a little trick that if you go to a sports book in Vegas, and everywhere else you gamble, you get free drinks, but you don't get free drinks when you're in a sports book because you place one bet, and then the game could be later that night. So
and you could be sitting there for 6 hours.
Yeah. So he taught me a little loophole. He was like, get a horse track that's running right when you get there, like they're starting their day. He's like, put $2 on every single race and line your table with all of those bets. That is actually considered steady gambling, just like playing hands of poker. And so when the waitress comes by,
so they will
like,
give you drinks.
They'll give you free drinks.
As long as you got a wager on every race that's happening that day.
Yeah, because it's continually going.
Right.
So they look, and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm just playing Encinitas today. And I've got all the races. And you show them, like, here they all are. They'll just keep bringing you drinks, even though you're just watching the basketball game.
Right.
I'm not a big gambler, and I've only gambled a handful of times in Vegas and Atlantic City and the likes. But I always find that, and I guess maybe because I'm at the smaller tables, I'm at the $5 and $10 tables. But you always hear about the free drinks and the allure of the free drinks.
Yes.
And it's nice, but I always feel like it takes forever.
Oh yeah, they don't want to. They don't want to keep them coming quick. They're like, now you have to sit here because I'll be back in 25 minutes.
Yep.
But
Like,
they want you to drink just enough to cloud your judgment so you go hit the ATM again.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
and not use the old Menden swap where you cancel a couple times.
Yeah.
And get yours.
That's.
I guess we're gonna have casinos opening around here now.
Yeah, and I should mention. Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, everybody.
Oh yeah.
Glad you guys are here.
Hey, this has been great.
totally skipped the intro there.
12 minutes in.
12 minutes in, decide to let people know what you're listening to.
That's New Orleans for you.
This is Inside the Pallet House, the only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems. There you go.
Gambling's a first world problem.
So you know what the ultimate gambling first world problem is? Is these now we see them popping up in gas stations, just the stupid slot machines.
Oh yeah.
The gaming machines. They're not even like gambling.
Yeah, it's like they'll in particular like they'll do a lot of like horse races that have been run in the past.
Yeah.
But like you don't really get to pick the horse.
Or it'll
It's
be like a
you
randomizer. Like
Yeah. They're really odd how they do this.
it's sad.
But you see these people sitting in the gas station all day long, and it's not like that's a cool place to be hanging out or they're bringing you free drinks. You're just watching people come in and buy cigarettes and Mountain Dew all day.
And that's where like casinos do it right. Like if you've ever been to a decent casino, whether it be on a cruise ship, Atlantic City, even Atlantic City, which is not known to be a nice place, or Vegas, like you walk in and you're just like it's flashing lights, like it's bright
Excited.
colors. You're just like there's sounds popping off. You're like, this is crazy.
There's a Dodge Viper
I don't-
waiting
yeah.
to be won, you know. It's
You're
like,
at the
cool.
gas station. It's like people buying packs of Marlboro Lights and
Yeah,
Red Bulls.
how's that
and-
exciting?
Yeah,
Mr.
week old
Papadakis.
hot dogs. Like
I don't understand the allure of the gas station.
Well, the one
slot machine.
the one right by me, the BP, is I guess it would be somewhat alluring, maybe if you really like Dairy Queen, because the gas station and the Dairy Queen are an
I'm willing
opening.
to follow you, but I'm
and
not.
there's- no, but I see the same three people, and they're just like constantly hitting the machines over
Yep.
and over again. They're there for 6 to 8 hours. You can go in for
Just-
get a coffee in the morning, come back in the afternoon. They're still there.
just
And you run
feeding
the-
money into them.
You run the risk of seeing attractive people in Vegas. It's never good-looking, dressed-up
No.
people sitting at the gas station slot machine.
No, you're not going to catch somebody making a run on one of those machines like you might at a craps table or a roulette table, like some James Bond looking cat, like with a stack of chips. Like you're not seeing that at the gas station.
No. Hey, Lady Luck, come over here and blow on my gas station card machine. No, it's sad, and it always looks like it's somebody who was taking the money to the orphanage and then couldn't resist the allure of the 7-Eleven
Well,
Yeah.
bandit.
I think I told you guys this that I was in there the other day at the BP, and I just asked the guy about it, and he said, "Yeah, we had a pretty good payout today. Somebody won big." And I was like, "What do you mean won big?" And he said,
So that's
$650." I was like, "So somebody won $650?"
$650,000.
$650.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot to some people, but that's not like life-changing in any way.
No, but
I guess it is though if you're
sitting there playing to try and find a way to pay your rent,
or to get enough money to buy that hot dog,
Or
you
to
walk
buy-
in
or
$1.50.
to make back all the dollars you've already thrown at that scratch ticket.
Which is a whole nother degenerate
Yeah.
look is when you see people go in and do this. They don't actually. They just scratch off the back
Yeah.
and then hand them back so they can get scanned and see
Yeah.
if they won. They don't even
They don't even get the joy of
take
like,
the
what
time
is the-
to see if the jingle bell hits or whatever it is.
see if there's 3 cherries lined up or not. Like,
that's the worst though. I mean, you're either in it for the excitement and the unknown, or you're just hard pressed to like just give me the cash. Just keep boom, 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 boom.
speaking
On the
of,
back of the-
speaking of lottery degenerates, we all jumped in on the Ely lottery train and didn't hit, of course.
And the only reason I do that is because if you guys got rich
That
without
is.
me,
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm with you. I'm in.
like I don't ever think I'm going to win, but I also think that I could, but not win when you guys do.
Yes.
So like
Yeah.
I know I can't win the lottery, but part of me just can see this future world where you shitbags are driving Porsches and I'm sitting here in my same 1985 truck.
I had the exact same feelings. So
Yeah.
like, who's right here? Like, are we both right? Like,
no, as long as I keep playing, y'all will
It's-
never win.
yeah. And I'm with you. I
It's
feel
not the
same
fact
way.
that the odds are against you to win. It's the guilt that you would feel for not having played.
Yeah, and watching you guys
Everybody,
win.
right? And just
Yeah.
like,
When everybody's
think- I
like,
think-
look at my beach house, and I'm like, can I visit? I'm really
Well-
broke.
And then everybody going, Troy, if you just got in, you gotten in all those other times, you could have been in.
I think everybody would pony up and give you $100 each.
Oh, thank you, friends.
I would do that if I.
You do that for me?
For every $1 million I won, I'd give you $100.
Oh man,
0.01%.
friends. I love friends.
Well, I don't want you to ever think that I didn't care.
Yeah, that's true.
That would
Because you do care, obviously. That would show.
yes,
That
a
would come
small
across.
amount.
This
So-
is how much I care.
So I think we've all done it. Have you lined out what you're going to do first if you were to hit the big one? Like, what's the first thing you do with that money?
I would like to think that I'm pretty boring, like pay off. the
I'm
house.
extremely boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I would
think
pay
I'd
off
be-
any debt, which I don't have a lot of. But I have thought about it enough to know, like, I would quit if I won the, bajillion dollars, like, there's no need to go to work, then I would quit my job. And I would actually have to find a friend or two to hire on. Like I would hire Brendan. Like, you're going to have to quit your job because I'm going to need somebody to do some cool shit with during the day.
Yeah, but
And
what exactly would you pay me to do? Like what?
So
Nothing.
you're talking about the Billy Madison crew sitting in the pool.
Exactly, yeah. Like, I'd want to take a trip. I mean, and obviously I'd be doing things with the family too, but, like, I'd want you and your family to come because I get tired
Yeah.
of doing the thing with my family. So I'd be like, look, I'm going to pay you 6 figures just to be available to do cool shit.
Yeah, I've never. I mean, I get that. I like the logic. I've always thought like I'd hire a driver. Would be like if I
Yeah,
had enough
a
money,
driver.
where it'd be like get my buddy to be a driver. Be
Yeah.
like, how much you make? All right, now you're literally anywhere I want to go. But the problem
That's a
is,
great idea, but I
Yeah.
couldn't
Now you
ask
can't
you
drink.
to do that.
no, because I'm drunk. Like I'm not a very good.
I love you enough to never ask you to do that for me.
I mean,
like,
you could.
even if I paid you double or triple, like, I'm like, that wouldn't be fair to my friend.
If you paid me double my salary to stay sober and drive, I'd tell you to get the fuck out of my
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thought we were friends.
Yeah, fuck you, man. It's really messed
You were
up.
dragging around, pay me to watch you have a good time.
Actually, you know what I would
That's-
do with that? I'd turn around and hire a $30,000 driver sit next to my ass,
Yep.
pocket the money. You'd be like, "We go somewhere?" I'd be like, "Yep, Jeeves, come on,
Let's go.
I gotta drive."
Great idea.
I take it back. I would take
You
you up
take
on
the
that.
double.
I figure it out.
That's why
There's
you're
a
a
workaround.
businessman.
Yeah.
There's a
You're a
workaround.
businessman.
Always thinking. Always thinking. Yeah, you catch me sitting there hitting the slot machines in the 7-Eleven there.
I think I'd rather win the $5,000 a week for life because I think even if I hit the big one, I might be able to spend all the money. There's a finite.
That's what seems to happen.
I
mean,
think
it
about
really
that a
seems
lot.
To happen
I mean,
like
you
that.
can't invest a flat fee. Like, you can get a flat payout from your lottery winnings. I mean, granted, it's half of whatever you win, and invest that and get a draw. But,
There's something to be said for 20 years of just steady income, though.
yeah.
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 Like that's not a bad idea. And then to do stuff like build bars, do something that you enjoy, do a podcast.
Yeah.
I
then
mean,
we'd be double rich.
20 grand a month extra.
Hey, I'm still thinking about these gas stations. Did you see one? You were talking about a truck stop, and those places are the greatest places on
Yeah,
earth.
I love a truck stop.
Like a
good truck
real
stop.
good
Yeah,
truck stop.
Yeah.
Like some of them can just be done up.
Yeah.
Where it's basically like a mall.
Yeah, there's a nice one down the
Definitely.
road off 95 in Ashland, but I was
That's the Flying J down there in Ashland.
I think
that
or
one's-
double A, a lot like something Alliance or something.
Is it the one that
There's-
has the Cinnabon in it?
I
And
think
like-
so. Yeah.
that's a double J, and that's
Yeah.
a Flying J. That's a good one.
And the Davis Travel Centers are pretty good too.
Yeah, but I don't go out to the western part of the state very often, but I know, you went to Radford. You guys went to Radford, so you take this road. So I'm curious if you'd ever hit this place up. If you go up, I went out to Roanoke for work last week, and if you go up to 64 to 81, you start heading south. I hit a place right down the road, a place called White's.
That's a big.
oh,
one.
yeah.
That place was freaking amazing, dude. Like, I mean, had a legit mall in it. Like, it was crazy how big it was.
And it's not just like your typical CBs and stuff like that. Like
no,
it's,
like they sell boots and clothes and
teddy bear section.
Yeah,
if you're gonna go see your
exactly.
kid. Like,
Yeah, if anybody's interested, they can go to whitetravelcenter.com. They've got a whole website. They got
Yeah.
YouTube clips. They've got food. It's
I
everything.
mean, they had 5 or 6 restaurants in it. I
Quaker's,
mean,
what is it? Popeyes, Quaker Steak and Lube.
Yeah.
Nathan's famous.
yep.
it's basically like a little Walmart with then like a little food court.
Yeah.
Right.
And then showers. And,
Yep, and all your typical, and it was packed full of trucks. That 81 corridor is just a truck haven.
Well, and that whole back of that one and a lot of those like that.
Have y'all hit that? You've hit
Yeah,
that. So y'all have hit that place up in your travels to
Yeah.
Radford?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you can sleep there. Like you can park your truck out
Oh,
back
yeah.
and like sleep. And I remember I told you guys a few years ago I was coming back from Northern Virginia and I stopped at a truck stop at night, like after 10 o'clock, around 11 o'clock or so. And everyone was going in there buying beers, and they were all sitting out by their trucks just getting hammered
tailgate.
together.
That's the way to
yeah,
do
they
it.
just tailgate
And you
and then
crawl
crawl
into your
back into
bed,
their
yeah.
bed and pass out. I was like, I had no idea that these truck stops turned into a party.
Yeah,
At
I had
night.
no idea either.
I mean, it's
Well,
really
Kind
wild
of
to
sounds
see.
fun, right?
Is there a lady that brings you around free drinks and stuff? And
Oh, there's
walks around?
ladies.
Yeah.
They
There's
call
lot
them lot
lizards.
lizards. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, the lot lizards
ladies of the night.
Oh, yeah.
go around and take care of certain
Dude, I just
things.
happened to look at this. This place is full blown. It's got a pharmacy, chiropractor,
Oh, there's chiropractors.
dermatology,
I forgot. Yes. Yeah, like-
family dental, healthcare. It's got everything here.
Imagine
Hey, I'm
Tell-
going
you
down
get-
81.
you
I
go
get my
through-
teeth fixed.
you go,
But that's the
yeah.
life
You
of-
go to dentist school or chiropractic school, and it's like, hey, where do you work? You're like,
I made it to
"Oh,
the big time.
You ever heard of a place called White's Truck Stop? Yeah, that's where I work. Like,
Damn.
but how amazing is that? I mean,
that really is full service. I like that.
yeah.
The life of a truck driver.
Doesn't an over the road truck driver seem like a romantic gig to have for a minute? Like
For the first 200 miles.
For a minute, for sure. Like
Yeah.
you think about it and
like
go,
a few months.
this
like,
would be a cool gig where I could just listen to podcasts,
Yeah.
cruise around, and then, life on
see
the road.
see a lot of the cool like once you drove through all the states, you'd be like, all right, I'm done.
Now, I have seen those couples that are, retired couples that have bought a nice rig with a
Yeah,
full-blown,
yeah.
kind of RV type setup rig.
Yep.
But they're doing, tandem over the long haul trucking, cross country, scene and all that. And I could do that if I had somebody else with me or something. And there was like
Being by
a
yourself
thing.
will get old.
I mean,
Real quick.
Yeah.
But it does sound like a cool job.
Yeah,
One that may not be here that much longer.
yeah, with Amazon and
Yeah.
what's his name? Tesla guy, Elon.
Yeah, what will the
mean-
places like White's do at that point? They'll just be charging stations.
I've always wanted to do a cross country road trip in an RV or even in a car and just staying at cool motels and stuff. I've
done
always
it
thought that'd be fun.
4 times as a kid.
Really?
That was my mom's idea of a vacation.
Yeah.
She
just
always,
hitting the road.
Yeah, because my dad would work and he would travel a lot when we were young. And so she'd get a wild hair up her ass and be like, hey, let's go to, and it would be something on the other side of the country. And she'd be like, and on the way, we could hit this. And so it would be daily road trips of anywhere from like 4 to 8 hours to get to the next
spot.
spot. But so that's kind of like taking your time, though. You're not hauling ass across the country.
You're not doing 10-hour days.
And you're weaving. You're like, nah, we're going to Memphis. We got to hit Graceland. And it's like, all right, that's not on the way. Or like, very Griswold. You know, like we're going to go see the world's largest ball of yarn. Kind of stuff. But it was always cool, except one year I did insist on bringing my dog. That makes things more difficult.
Yeah, because you can't just pop in and out everywhere. And you got to stop twice as much or whatever.
My dog took a shit right at the base of the steps to Graceland. It was very nice.
Oh.
Like I just remember feeling like walking
Not a
my
fan,
dog.
huh?
And then he just did the little dog waddle, and like all of a sudden I'm like, uh-oh, he's about to do it. And then like I remember hearing some big
Is this
guy,
the poodle?
Yeah. And I remember this big guy being like, I guess when you gotta go, you gotta go. And everyone started laughing at me, and I was so embarrassed.
That's when you look at the dog and you say, Elvis died on the shitter.
That's right. I remember we also went and saw the tomb of Ramses. He was like a pharaoh from Egypt.
And that's here?
No, this is somewhere. Like it just happened to be somewhere in the States. And
I meant here in the States.
Yeah.
A museum somewhere.
It was like traveling, and my mom was like, we got to see Ramses. And I was like, I mean, mummies are cool.
Yeah.
And on that particular day, we decided we had to leave the dog in the car.
Yeah.
Like while we were in there. Now we cracked the windows. It was fun.
Oh, yeah.
And we came back, and he had eaten the entire headliner of the car.
Oh, God.
Like, trying to get out. Like he just tore it to shit. It was all hanging and shredded, and seats were chewed up. I was like,
nice.
This dog's
Dad's
adorable.
Gonna be pissed.
So after that, for the remainder of the trip, we had a prescription sent in for tranquilizers, and it basically looked like a dead dog in the back of the car. It was a little different ride for Reggie on the way back.
Yeah, well, 50 years ago, you could do road trips, and with I don't think they're the same anymore thanks to the interstate system. Like, there's just not as much cool stuff to do.
Yeah, a lot of it wasn't just on highways. Like we were all over different places. It was cool, but it gets exhausting. Like 14 days.
I bet your mom. She did 100% of the driving.
Yeah, well, sometimes she'd bring a friend, and but glutton for punishment.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Because now you got 2 kids in the back, sometimes 3. Just like playing the same license plate game over.
Yeah, and there was no when you road trip back in the day, there were no fun games. Like you can have tablets and phones and
you had a Walkman.
Unlimited minutes.
Walkman was
unlimited
pretty
music.
I had my mom. She had a '82 Toyota station wagon, and we just laid the seats down, and we were just. She would drive us back and forth, because I didn't get the typical childhood vacations because I moved here. So every summer it was once or twice back down to Baton Rouge. And so that was a road trip, but
I did a road trip when I was in college in Atlantic City on a whim with a group of guys, and it was 7 of us, and we jumped in a Suburban or a Tahoe, and we folded the back seats down. So it was 2 guys in the front and then 5 just sitting awkwardly in the back of the truck. We left at midnight. No, we left at midnight. Got there at 6 p.m. We gambled from 6 to 6 the next morning, and then got back in the car and drove. It was a 24-hour trip, 12 of those hours driving, 12 in Atlantic City at the casinos, and just awkwardly. It was 5 full-grown men sitting, Indian style, and you couldn't get comfortable. Like,
well, I think Brennan's heard this story, but. Sophomore year, we went to Matamoros and South Padre, Texas. Like Matamoros, Mexico, South Padre, Texas.
That's a hike.
And we drove from Radford. And we had one of our brothers, actually it was a pledge, rent the car for us. He was old enough, but he was pledging. And this guy he's really cool. He was 31 when he pledged, but he was awesome.
Do you imagine getting yelled at by 18-year-olds?
Yeah.
It's like do push-ups.
We had a 26-year-old I thought was going to murder the young guys. So I can't imagine being 31.
This dude's 31 as a pledge, and he's a veteran. He's a war veteran.
So he's used
and
to
not like a veteran who said, this is a guy who's really was over in the shit multiple times.
But you couldn't.
You got some spoil-riding 18-year-old named Towns yelling at you.
Yeah, exactly. And this guy's like, I've held people while they died for your country. But I'll eat this week-old oatmeal. Thanks.
Yeah. I've had a.
It was weird.
It's like I've had a
to say the least.
I've had a 6'4" drill instructor 250 in my ear hole, and now I got to listen to your sawed-off little honky ass.
But this brother he was a pledge at the time, but he was so awesome. 5 of us, there's a bunch of people that went down to South Padre, but 5 of us were going to rent a car, and none of us were old enough to rent the car because you had to be 21. So
boom, loophole, pledge,
make the pledge,
go get a
go
car.
sign
the car. He had to be 25, but he still checked that box because he was 31.
Yeah. So he gets the car for us, and sure enough, he just tells the lady at the Roanoke Airport, "We're going to the beach. That's it." And so me and the 4 other guys drive this Ford Taurus SHO all the way to Mexico and back. Get back, it's got 4,000, 5,000 miles on it. And nothing ever happened, but that was one of the coolest things he ever did.
Yeah, I hope he got the unlimited miles package.
Yeah, I've done a lot of late night road trips that were just like a bad idea, like just sitting around, and all of a sudden it's like, you know what? We can go somewhere. Fuck it. Let's roll.
Yeah.
And off you go without any thought or reason. A lot of those happen in college.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just like, let's go to this university.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right, done.
I couldn't pick up tomorrow and just go.
No.
At this age, right now, I got to at least, I don't know if I could.
You wouldn't want to. You'd want to plan it better. You'd want to think it out. You'd want to, let's stop here and go this route and do this.
So.
Now it's like, back then you didn't even know which direction you were going.
No.
There were times you got there and then slept in the car because it didn't work out.
Yeah, let's go. I got $50.
Or you hadn't thought about it.
Yeah.
I got $50 cash. We can go for a weekend.
I went one weekend with 2 buddies down to Virginia Beach on a whim. We used to do the Virginia Beach trip all the time. And we used to go in the winter when you could always get a place. But we did it on a holiday weekend one weekend. Mm-hmm. And we were like, we'll easily find a place, right? Everywhere was rented out. Every hotel and motel was rented out. And we're literally walking down the street after stopping at every place up and down the strip. And I see 3 girls that I know. They were doing the same thing. They found a place that had a 3-night minimum. And we were like, well, shit. Y'all want 2 nights. We want 2 nights. We could double up and just sleep 6 people in the hotel room.
Wink, wink.
And
I like where this is going.
Exactly.
And we ended up doing that, and they stayed 2 nights and left. And we had the third, of course, because it was college, we were like, well, fuck it, we'll stay the 3rd night. What do we have to do? Go to class?
I go back.
Who cares? So it just pure luck. We were about to sleep in a car. We didn't have anything else to do. But that was fun.
There was one time I was down in Myrtle Beach, and I had told a couple of my buddies that we were going down there, but I was staying with my buddy's mom. So, I didn't have an option for them.
Right.
Yeah.
These 2 dudes show up.
Oh,
I'm sitting
Brenda's there. We'll have a spot.
Yeah. So I'm sitting out on the beach, and these dudes are come walking out, and they're like, "What is up, dude? We came to Myrtle. What are we doing?" And I was like, "Yo, dude, I can't get you in the room. This is my buddy's mom's place, and she's here."
So you and the mom are just hanging out?
And
nice.
and young Jimmy. It was young Jimmy's mom and young Jimmy. So he and I are staying in the place, but his mom is there, and these 2 dudes show up oh, man, I thought we were going to party. And I was like, no, you must have understood something. I don't have a place for you. I'm not kidding. These guys, they were like, let us borrow your room key. We can go down to the pool. We're like, no problem. So they go down to the pool. They got 2 of the lounge chairs, the lay-down lounge chairs, took them from the pool deck and went underneath the hotel. It had, the lattice work, and, you could get under because everything's a little elevated because it's at the beach. They pulled them under there, and they lived for the whole week under the hotel.
A whole week? Not 1 or 2 nights?
Under the hotel.
Wow.
In lounge chairs. And,
were they, showering outdoor showers or something?
There's a pool house.
There were times they would sneak up. We'd be all right, she's out doing this. But they just lived under it like homeless guys and partied. It was one of the weirdest weeks I've ever seen. Because you would go down and you'd find, holler, yo, guys. We'd be like, all right, let's go party.
That's ridiculous.
It was a really odd week.
They just drank themselves into a stupor every night, so they pass out on the.
Yeah, because they could party with
Yeah.
us. We could go places. We could do things, but they didn't. We'd have to go separate ways, and they'd just sleep under the hotel.
Damn.
But it seemed to work for them.
Yeah, we
It's
used
different when you're young.
Yeah, we used to rent hotels and even houses and just pack people in there. I mean,
oh yeah,
the trip we went to, the big trip we took after college down in Savannah for St. Patrick's Day, we had a typical, hotel room with 2 double beds, and I guess we had like maybe eight or nine people in there. Like it was like 2 to a bed, and then people just in between the beds, like on the floors, like in the bathtub. Like,
I mean, ghetto ski trip is a form of that.
It certainly used to be. I mean, that trip started as hotel rooms packed with people on the floor, but it really peaked when we just found that trailer park. It was like a trailer park rec hall.
Yeah.
And they would rent it out. And so everyone
But
would
it was
just,
spacious, right?
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah.
But you could fit.
But there were no bedrooms, no beds.
There actually were. There were 3 bedrooms off of it. But they're just little tiny places. So you'd put 4 dudes on the floor there, but then other guys would be just crashed out in the rec area. Yeah. It worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
That's what
I don't know what happened.
guys can do that. Like that's a guy thing. Like I don't think girls do that. Like they
think
need their own space.
Yeah, ever since I got married, it's like all of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Outside of unless it's just guys, really fell by the wayside because I can think of times it's like, let's go down to Savannah, and I'm thinking, cool, let's go to the Thunderbird Motel. I know this shithole. It's perfect, which is a great one, mind you. And but then it's like, no, we're in a row house downtown looking out over a courtyard. Like everything changes very quickly. Got to keep the women happy.
For sure.
I think the women would be more apt to like have more than say it's a 2-bedroom place and it's got 2 queen beds and 4 ladies go. I think they'd be more apt to sleep in the same bed, just share space than dudes would.
I never had a problem with that. Like I feel like that was like a middle school, high school thing where you're like, I'm not sleeping in a bed with you, bro. And then next thing you know, like you're in college and you're like, you're stacked up like cordwood. Okay, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm saving $5 on this trip. Let's do it. Like everything was a budget.
Yeah, I think
because I know ghetto. I mean, I've never been, but I know ghetto has changed a lot since the start of it. Because as the budgets got bigger, everybody's like, I'd like my own space. I'd like,
Well, people have been at their jobs for 10 years and can afford a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, let's do this.
There's still part of me, though, that longs for the day of, like, sleeping under a hotel.
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah, you didn't have a care in the world.
Nah, it was
Get in your car and drive. I mean, me and my buddies in college would do that. Every winter we'd do a couple Virginia Beach trips. Like, nothing going on this weekend? Let's go down to the beach. We can get a oceanfront hotel for $50. Like, we're not going. We're just going to sit there and drink and play spades. But, hey, it'll be doing it looking at the ocean instead of back in the dorm room.
Yeah, there's always the potential of a girl.
Yep.
So, it's always out there in your mind.
There was, when I was in the Navy, during the wintertime, the Tropicana Hotel in Virginia Beach. It's the one, if you
sounds nice.
If you remember it, it's and it's still there. When you go down the strip, it's closer to like, I'd say 17th or 16th Street, but it's peach. It's like a pink colored hotel.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
And in the wintertime, it was $19 a night for a room, and
perfection.
We'd go down the strip and just party our balls off, and then crash there. Who knew how many guys we had just crashing up in one room?
Especially with the Navy, y'all are used to hot racks. Like,
well, I mean, they're in subs. And shit.
Look how spacious
this is huge.
Tropicana's the best. Yeah. Everything's 5-star when you come from a submarine.
Yeah.
Damn.
We don't have to share a bed. Weird.
This is amazing.
5-star living.
Luckily, I can't believe there's only 20 dudes here. This is so nice.
Yeah.
Finally, not a sausage party.
Well, that's like, luckily I never had to do the hot rack. I mean, that's, 8-hour shifts for 3 guys.
Yeah.
But on the Roosevelt, the size of the man room right here, the man cave.
Yep.
20 guys, 25 guys, easily.
God.
3 racks high. This is
so
the berthing
hot.
area.
Every time I see a movie that shows, sleeping quarters for any military, especially when a lot of movies do the whole basic training where you see just the racks of, and I'm like, I've been a snorer my entire life. Like, How would I have I would have gotten the shit kicked out of me first day of basic training.
Everybody's so tired from shit, they're done. Everybody goes, you get past that real quick.
You say that.
I'm just saying, but no, basic,
yeah,
the racks that you see, like the bunk beds,
yeah,
that's more space than I ever had when I was on the ship.
Yeah, that's
I was
true.
like, this is heaven.
But you're also not used to sleeping with 60 dudes like up and down the barracks.
So they call them coffin lockers. If you can just basically put your elbow on the ground, put your elbow down, and the top of your finger, your elbow's on the mattress, and the top of your finger's touching the rack above you. And they're 3 racks high.
Oh my God, that's on the boat on the ship.
That's on a ship, and so
that sounds so nice.
you can't turn over or
you
sit
can
up.
you can turn over. Believe it or not, that's enough room that you can roll around.
Yeah,
but
gets you over your claustrophobia.
Which is one of the things you're not going to do if you're on the Navy. If you're claustrophobic, they kick you out in a heartbeat. And sleepwalkers.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Right off the edge.
Or just stepping out of your bunk in the middle of the night and just eating shit into a rock hard piece of metal.
Yeah.
Dang.
That was good times.
I was having a bad day.
Are there height requirements?
No, but that's one of the things.
You got to be over 3 foot.
No, I'm saying if you're 6'4", you can't.
There
fit
is
a sub.
Well, I don't know about the subs. I know pilots there's a height limit, but there were guys that were 6'3", 6'4". One guy was 6'5", and we were on the carrier. And they have the dog doors to close in between compartments.
Yeah.
Well, that's an oval
where you have to step
over
and
down.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you. It happens all the time. Somebody's taller, not really paying attention, running during a drill.
Yeah.
And it's just
Smash
a metal
your
edge
head.
and slicing.
Not only will you smash your head, you'll trip while you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're going to look stupid and be in pain. Enjoy.
Yeah, it seems like I always wondered about that. I'm like, I feel like, because I know I had an uncle that was a great uncle that was in the Navy, and he was 6'4", and he was in a sub. He was in the one that's decommissioned in Inner Harbor in Baltimore.
Oh, okay. I've been on that sub.
Yeah. And I always wanted to go up there and go through it and get a tour, but I always thought, how did this tall, lanky bastard fit in here?
Poorly.
Yeah.
I go in, I'm 6'1.5", and I go in I don't, you go in an old house and the ceilings are lower,
Oh, yeah.
You got to keep them mean. This is one way to do it, Hey, give that tall guy the small bed. I want him fired up.
Yeah.
Are the beds even long enough? I know I don't even fit in
beds
some beds.
The beds are, I think if you're 6'3", you'd be fine. But anything more than that, you're okay. You're going to be a little long. Oof. But I got lucky I think it was a second or third year. I got lucky. The berthing unit that they put me in was all the way forward. Just at the water line. And a carrier doesn't rock really, but it's a slow roll left to right and kind of up and down. I was right at the water line, and that was the one cruise that just put me to sleep.
What
every
carrier
night.
were you on?
The Roosevelt.
Okay.
So you just hear the water splash against the hull. And then you got the guys that work on because I was working on the flight deck, but you got guys that work in the arresting gear and get close berthing areas up there, and they're literally where they're sleeping is right below the flight deck, and it's just landing, and everything is going.
I bet that's loud as shit too, isn't it?
But those guys could fall asleep anywhere.
Yeah,
they were like, "I'm tired."
Well, like you said, if they get worked hard enough, you're gonna fall asleep and sleep through anything anyway.
Definitely.
Dude, I could go for a deli.
Is it deli time already?
Yeah, I've been
working hard.
Then I got to tell us I've had a rough day. I could use a drink, and it's only in the middle of the day. It's not even.
Yeah, we're recording a Sunday afternoon here.
Rough day. The other day, what was it? Yesterday, the weather was horrible. It was raining, it was cold, and it was snowing. It was just miserable at
Saturday
3 o'clock.
Was gross.
Yeah, and I had a bunch of kids here for a sleepover.
For
a birthday party. So that's always great.
Oh, real quick. I never got you saying kids and it's football. You did the Nickelodeon version of the playoff. Did you watch that?
I did.
How was that?
Dude, that was amazing.
It was funny.
It was awesome. I loved it.
What did they do?
They just had slime cannons in the end zone. Everything graphics, nothing actual.
But they scored a touchdown. They had 4 slime cannons at each pylon that doused the end zone. Then they would show the players and they'd give them big old googly eyes and a hamburger hat.
Yeah.
And then they would
leave Nickelodeon.
You would do a side by side of Brady and Breeze and show their stats. They did Alvin Kamara versus Alvin the Chipmunk, and like which each Alvin did. Like it was hilarious.
It was pretty fun. There was one time they were like, "Okay, they're gonna kick the ball."
Oh, we
And then-
we
So wait,
laughed at
who's
this all night.
commentating?
I don't know who these people
So
were.
they had like a dude.
Well, young Sheldon would give the actual rules.
Yeah.
He would tell what an offsides is and everything. But I remember there's this one.
They had a
kickoff.
guy and a young girl and a young guy.
Yeah, but I don't.
like
they're
had,
famous to kids, I'm sure.
yeah, but they had a legit like guy, full-grown adult male who knew like football and did like
Well,
comedy.
Nate Burleson was a big part of it. He
Okay.
was doing the pregame show
Gotcha.
and stuff. So there was some actual talent there for sure. But yeah, I remember the one kickoff. She goes, "Oh wow, that kick went all the way up in the air!" Whoa! And I'm like, "Oh, you're trying too hard."
I think
So
was
were
it
the
a
kids-
punt?
were the
was that
kids-
a punt? Maybe.
Yeah,
I
they
feel like
were
it was
like,
a punt.
so they're either going to kick it up in the air,
Yeah.
or they're going to kick it low, and then it went all the way up in the air.
It was
I
hilarious.
was like,
we kept
"Oh."
saying that all afternoon.
Were the kids actually watching this?
I don't know. I was standing by the fire pit doing my standard.
Oh, you did Nickelodeon out here in the man cave.
well, we had
Yes,
Man,
I had
we had a
Nickelodeon on one
Nickelodeon version,
TV, and then the other, on the other TV.
and we watched like we had the volume on the Nickelodeon one, and we watched the Nickelodeon one. But I read that it was like a hit, like across the board. People liked it.
Damn.
Honestly, it was okay.
It was fun.
It was okay outside of getting my ass kicked.
Oh, you mean because
It was
'Cause
the
the Bears shouldn't have been in the playoffs to begin with.
was that the Bears game?
Yes.
Yeah. Go Saints.
Well, you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, no.
Unfortunately,
So this is Devil's Backbone is what we're getting into right now. Bright pineapple, sparkling ale.
is there other versions of this?
Not that I'm aware of.
There's a
I thought I heard Stu say
Bright-
earlier there was
there's
a
a-
bright.
what is it? There's another one. Bright tangerine or bright.
No, you said something.
Yeah, I know.
Mango maybe, or it was something.
Let me see here. But go ahead.
Well, this is the bright pineapple. So
This
I
is
think
2 grams of carbs, 85 calories, 0 grams of sugar, and 4%. It's in a cute little.
don't like the slim can.
It's a slim can.
They do a tangerine and a pineapple.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I don't like slim cans. They don't fit in my koozies. And I'm not going to
Yep.
commit to a slim can koozie because I never know what I'm going to be drinking.
Sparkling ale with natural pineapple flavors.
Yep.
Says alcohol 4%, color extra pale. Ounces 12.
85 calories, soaking wet in the description. So, man, it hit me strong with the first sip.
That first sip was horrible. The second sip was a lot different. But I'm coming from a Coors Banquet beer. So
Yeah.
I was doing my little.
You have a clean palate.
It's not. It's not as pineapple-y as I thought. To me, it's not as pineapple-y as I thought it would be.
That first sip was pineapple.
Yeah, but it finishes really clean.
It's a little sour.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
tart.
It's-
a little bit
tart. More tart.
Which I didn't know. I wouldn't.
Pineapple
think-
kind of is.
Is it? I feel like when I eat
I don't
fresh
know.
pineapple, I'm just getting straight sweet goodness.
I think
I could
there's
be
a
wrong.
little something here. This is interesting.
This is it says additional pineapple crystals and pineapple extract, Amarillo hops.
Amarillo hops.
Ooh,
let's see
Texas.
Isn't
Malts.
Amarillo?
Or Pilsner, pale wheat, and let's see what else we got here.
It has none of that shit. Don't even bother, Stu.
Yeah.
It is.
This tastes like pineapple. And
Yeah, I'm just saying that's what's in it. I don't think it's a bubbly mouthful.
It does not taste like an ale.
this beer's interesting.
Sparkling ale is how they describe it, but I
It
don't
tastes
know.
like a sparkling drink, like a.
I'm going to let Stu go first here because Stu is a seltzer guy.
Yes, this
and
is
I want to
his
hear
wheelhouse.
his take on this because this is I think we can all agree I'm not burying the lead here. This is somewhere between seltzer and beer for sure.
Yes.
Stu, what is
Yeah.
your take on this?
Stu's actively drinking a what is that? A watermelon?
I had a lemon. I had a watermelon. Just doing
White
a couple
Claw.
seltzers, but yeah, on the White Claw, but
Yeah, all of Stu's koozie should be like his condoms, thin and
long.
Yeah.
at least you got at least you were able to get that
Half
part.
of it.
Congratulations, Stu. Circumference matters.
Yes.
So
Not girthy.
Do you have anything with a little less girth?
I like to buy. Yeah, you got a fitting room for these.
What do you think of this, Stu?
It's really weird because it's a spark. I don't think it's a seltzer. It's way too much carbonation to be like just a plain beer. The tartness is really what's throwing me off, and I don't really even that first sip. Yeah, but the more and more I drink it, the more and more I lose the pineapple.
Yeah, it just tastes tartier. Can I say that?
Yeah, I guess you could.
Don't you dare!
Because it's like it's like a leftover. Yeah, it is. It's like a leftover sweet tart or something sour that's going to kick the top of your mouth. Over.
Huh?
So I'm not.
What?
It's tart. It's real tart, and it's hitting the top of my mouth, and I don't really care for it.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't. There's no flavor for me. To believe it or not.
Interesting. I did not expect that.
I don't. It's carbonated. I like the bubbles.
I thought Stu would love this, but now that he's speaking on it and I'm drinking more of it and I'm tasting more tart, Stu's a sweet guy.
Yeah, he likes
He's
the
a sweet
Trulies.
guy, yep.
I know he doesn't drink the Trulies here, but when we did the test, he was the one who had the Trulies ranked higher than everyone else.
He always likes in a blind taste test he picks the sweet stuff over the tart stuff.
He likes more flavor, more the flavor to it.
Yeah, I mean I like that's why I like the White Claw limes. I like anything that's got more flavor.
Yeah, and this is a little light for you.
I hate mango.
So what are you going to give it then on a scale of 1 to 5?
And their marketing is not really that great. You can't even see what the can's going on. So I'm going to give it a 2.
Boy, I did not expect that.
Got pineapple hot air balloons on it.
Yeah, I think it's dope.
You can't even see the bright. You can't even see the word bright. You don't know that
it's so bright you can't see it.
I mean,
I see that.
I don't know.
You want next or you want me to run?
I'll go next.
Can I just leave it at this? The whole thing's fucking confusing.
What did you pick?
This is
he gave it a 2.5. He's not pleased with this beer.
No, I said 2.
Oh God!
Wow.
No, I said 2.
Okay.
The marketing's not good. There's no flavor. And
last week he gave the crazy Devil's Backbone. I mean,
I gave
the Stone a 2.5. So this is lower than that.
That's amazing.
Funky Stone. Look, this is exactly what it looks like. It's in a slim can, so you know it's not a beer. The only difference, the only thing that shook me, and I prefer it, but the buyers might not, more tart than sweet. I like tart. I like sours.
Yeah, if you like sour beers, it's probably a win.
I like this. The more of this I drink, the more I like it. I would give this a 3. But I also kind of, being that it says bright on it, and it's an all-yellow can, and it's got pineapple, it's like it's selling you on the pineapples. It doesn't taste that pineapple-y and sweet to me. It tastes more light and tart. But I like that, but I feel like the purchaser might be not happy with what they're getting as to what they were sold.
So I have a question real quick.
All right.
It's a pale.
Well, no, it's just an ale, not a pale ale. So it's not supposed to be super hoppy.
It says, sorry.
Well, it
sorry.
says on here
Color
extra
is,
pale.
Color's extra pale, and it's but it's an ale.
It says pineapple sparkling ale.
Is the ale cutting the flavor?
Yeah, so that's a good segue. You mind if I run? So I think that the seltzers bring nothing to the table flavor-wise. It's like literally a blank palate, and so the flavors are all that comes through.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a bubble base with no flavor. If you drink the non-flavored ones, there's really no flavor there except for a light hint of booze.
They've gotten rid of the pure White Claws because people don't like them. They want the flavors.
So this adds just a hint of beer flavor, albeit a very light ale.
Right.
Then they add that pineapple
which
to it.
is the weakest of the beer flavors.
So if you've ever had the Blue Sky Blue Moon product,
yeah,
I love that.
Okay.
That's a little orangey. That actually has more orange flavor in it, more tangerine flavor in it than this does pineapple.
Yeah.
I'm going to bucket it right alongside of that, though, because that's the only other beer that I think I can compare it to is that Blue Sky.
Okay.
I love the Blue Skies. I like this more.
Oh, wow.
Because it's less flavorful. So, Stu, you and I see this exactly opposite.
But the same. Like, you appreciate the less flavor. He doesn't. Yeah.
I tend to like the Corona seltzers because they have the least amount of flavor.
Yeah. So this is a palate issue. It's not it's not how it's made or anything like that.
We're literally tasting the same product.
Right.
We're just deciphering the results a little differently. I love this. I love that I'm getting this like little hint of pineapple. After I'm done drinking it and I'm breathing, I'm picking up just a little pineapple in the back of my throat. But otherwise, I don't feel like I'm drinking a nerdy seltzer.
Yeah.
Even though I do like a seltzer.
Well,
from time to time.
I may have to have a disclaimer because I was drinking a watermelon White Claw just before I drank this, and that is the sweetest fucking thing ever. And I'm not big on watermelon, but it's what I had.
Yeah, the little bit of tartness in this is reminiscent of a sour beer, but again, very light. So it's not overpowering me.
It's light and bright for sure.
I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going back and forth, honestly, between a 3.5 and a 4.
Woo.
Go for it.
Is how much I like this beer.
I gave it a 3, but I mean, a 3.5 isn't out of my realm. Like, I don't really dislike much about this other than I don't know if it would make everyone else happy.
I think you're right in the fact, Brendan, that if you're a seltzer drinker, this may not necessarily. If you're into the seltzers for the flavors,
but if you like a seltzer, but you're a beer guy,
yeah,
this squarely hits a little closer to what
beer
you want, you know? And I love the numbers on it, man. 4% alcohol. That's the exact right amount of alcohol.
Yeah.
I don't want anything over 5. I don't want anything under, 3.5. So 4 is perfect. 85 calories, 2 grams of carbs. Like, I'm psyched on this.
Yeah. What was it, $10.99 for a sixer?
I don't recall.
It was somewhere around there, I think, if I remember correctly. Which is right in the wheelhouse for microbrew drinks.
So I'm pretty sure I gave the Blue Sky a 3.5, and only because of that, I'm going to bump this all the way up to a 4.
Wow.
Because I would prefer this over that. I like that little bit of sour. I freaking really like this beer.
So we got a 2, 3, and a 4.
Like we are. This is.
a
You want to
3.
talk about a divisive beer? This is the one.
Yeah.
Like Stu hated it. Troy thought it was good, and I'm like, this is phenomenal. And I think that's probably indicative of how this will rate with everybody you hand it to.
True.
Someone's gonna go
off the rail.
That's horrible, and someone's gonna say, wow, that's refreshing.
This could easily be
This
the
is an argumentative
Goldilocks
beer.
the Goldilocks beer of beer. Like,
You're right.
too tart, not tart enough, just right. Like,
yeah, I think anywhere you take this, you're going to get arguments. I actually left one inside for my wife and sent her a text going, it's really good. You should try it.
nice.
And now I'm interested to see
Hopefully
what she
she'll
comes back
respond.
with. Because I thought it was going to be a slam dunk for all of us when I
Yeah.
tasted it. And now I'm realizing, no, this is like cilantro of beers.
Educate me here.
God, I don't have time, bro.
We're just saying
It's only
that
an hour and a half podcast.
Yeah, if this was a, Devil's Backbone pineapple ale, is it the same carbonation as opposed to what they're saying is sparkling? This is saying
No, this is less effervescent than a seltzer, I think.
I think it's on the same. Like, I don't feel like I'm drinking a beer.
Like I said, no one's going to agree on this beer.
Yeah,
This beer is interesting. This is a real odd duck. I like it.
Yeah,
but everyone knows that.
Sparkling ale kind of straddles the line of a couple different things. Like, it's
True.
weird.
If they put this in a regular can, I would like it even more. But I recognize who they're marketing to.
This deserves
Just me and the girls.
this deserves to be in a slim can.
I know it deserves to be in a slim can, but I hate that the slim can exists in the first place.
Yeah,
Like, stop putting things in slim cans. We're all equal here.
yeah. Except the people who are smart enough to make the slim can koozies out of the gate and are now crushing it.
That's the truth.
Well, who was the first? Silver Bullet, Coors.
No, but
it's not a full slim can.
No.
Don't you
It
dare.
was a little wide.
It was.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was a little
little-
wider than this, but it was still a tall
it still
can.
fits in every other koozie.
Yes, but they made it so you're looking at it and you're going, why does that look different?
It's just,
These slim cans are a full deviation. But I dig it. Stu doesn't. Troy thinks it's okay. That is,
I like it.
yeah, it's
I
just
don't,
interesting.
It's not a 4 to me, but I mean, I
So,
would
Brendan,
definitely
you're
drink
gonna
it
you're
again.
gonna seek this out if you're in the store.
This will be purchased. This will
Troy,
be purchased
you'll
right
drink a
alongside.
6-pack if somebody's got it.
I'd buy it and recommend it.
You buy it. Okay.
You know what's funny is like this has that
Actually,
low
I'd be a
amount of-
little hard pressed to buy and recommend because I don't know if everyone would like it. Like, I wouldn't be like, you've got to try this.
Yeah, no, this is a weird beer. This is one of those that I don't think any of us can say unequivocally.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
You nailed it.
Yeah, that
I
you
can't
should
say it.
that you should get it because
I'm just gonna speak for Ely and say he fucking hates it.
Ely loves this. He drinks
Ely
Natter
loves
Day.
it. Yeah,
But
yeah.
again, I don't actually know because
Yeah.
I
No, I
thought
know.
you would love it. I thought I would find it average, and we. But you know what? Today doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
I
anyway.
thought
What's happening today?
Today's just a shit day, man. Today has sucked.
Wait.
it's a weird day.
Did you have a thought?
No, I was gonna say I wish Ely was here because I'm with you. Like, I would lay my money down that he would like this, but if he didn't, it wouldn't surprise me either. Who knows?
No. Today's been a crap day. In fact, Troy, can I have another beer? That's how
Yes.
this day is going.
Well, it is. Damn.
Well, I have tomorrow off. So
It's not even happy hour yet.
There's not going to be a happy hour today, my
There's no
friend.
happy. There's just gonna be hours.
Like, all right,
Done.
today started, right? Woke up this morning.
Bad move.
So, all right, let me give a little backstory here.
Brendan's a happy-go-lucky guy too, so when he's in a funky mood, it kind of saddens me.
It throws you for a
It
loop.
does.
Imagine being me. Because usually, in my mind, I'm always just lying to everyone. I'm like, look how happy I am. And
Yeah.
I'm always, but I'm actually fucking miserable today. Like, I
You're just
can't
listening to sad music.
even. Yeah, I love my sad music.
Duck in a pond.
I'm like, boy, is that slow? That sounds good right there. But I woke up this morning. Now, Troy knows this. Stu, you probably don't. But for the last couple of days, like, I can't sleep right now. I don't know what's going on. Like, I've been literally going up to bed at my normal, like, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm laying there till 4+ in the morning, just like thoughts screaming through my head, and I can't seem to.
You're putting it out in the universe because it happened to me last night.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found myself watching Apollo 13 till 3 a.m.
I've
just
seen
was up.
Apollo 13 twice and fallen asleep both times. I saw it in the theater and slept through it. Saw it again in the theater, fell asleep.
Well, it really wasn't the movie that was keeping me up, but it was just like, yeah.
That movie, for whatever it
was
may have been
on.
a quaalude for me. but the last couple nights, like, for whatever reason, I haven't been able to sleep. But then what's strange is I've been waking up first thing in the morning, like normal work time,
Right.
but not being able to fall asleep till after 4. But then waking up normal work time.
And you have the ability to sleep in.
I'm the best
yeah.
at it. Like, this is so weird for me. So then I usually just turn on the headphones and, like, boom,
Done.
like, listen to a podcast for a couple minutes, and I'm back out. And that's hasn't even been working. Like, I'm literally listening to full podcasts, going, well, that's another hour. Okay, that's another hour. And it's like, I don't know what's going on. So last night,
That's crazy.
had the sleepover here, so
Right.
the house is full of commotion anyway. So I'm kind of up.
Oh, it's for the daughters, not.
It's a birthday party.
Oh, it wasn't for me. It wasn't like for us to have a sleepover.
No.
Oh,
No.
that would have been cool though.
No, then I would have told this story earlier because it would have tied into
Yeah,
guys
exactly.
bunking up. So again, last night it's like 4 a.m, and then I get woken up this morning. Like, this morning was different. Like, wake up time for work came around, and I didn't wake up. I was like, jackpot.
Yeah.
I've done it. I woke up at one point to pee, and it was right about the time I wake up. Fell right back to sleep. I was like,
Nice.
this is great. Well, 30 minutes later, my door swings open, and it's the girls from the sleepover
Yeah.
bringing me breakfast in bed,
Oh, isn't that nice?
which is
That
so
nice.
so
Yeah,
sweet.
Very sweet.
But desperately, all I want is to sleep.
Yeah.
And they've got a fucking espresso, a beautiful espresso
Yeah.
made for me,
Oh.
and you can't say no.
Because you and your wife are
Yeah.
coffee people. My wife
Yeah.
and I don't drink coffee daily.
Yes.
On.
So the nicest gesture in the world turned out to be a bad omen.
Yeah.
Because
Not good.
now I'm walked in, I'm handed chocolate chip pancakes. You know what I don't like?
Chocolate chip pancakes. Yeah, well, you're not a child.
Exactly.
Well,
So, like, now they're like try them. So I'm sitting there.
Pancakes, that's like chocolate chip pancakes is the equivalent to like the cheesecake with all the shit in it and on it. It's like pancakes are delicious.
Yes.
Now, kids, yes, they want
Right.
the chocolate chip. Cheesecake is perfection. You start mixing all the funky
Yeah, you
weird
start
shit
funking
in
it up.
Like, no, just give me fucking good cheesecake.
So I get woken up to espresso, chocolate chip pancakes, and one piece of bacon. Now, I would have just brought a pound of bacon.
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe a
Keep
regular
your
pancake.
chocolate chip pancakes.
But again, not upset, right? Like, how sweet is this that they did this, they brought this. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take it for what it is. If you're going to be woken up
Right.
when you don't want to get up, this is how you want it to happen. So at this point, I'm thinking,
I've never been brought breakfast in bed.
Never?
So you don't get
Never
mad.
ever.
Oh, there's not like getting burnt toast from a 3-year-old.
I don't have girls.
Yeah.
I guess it's a girl thing.
It does help.
I mean, I'm sorry, that's sexist of me to say, but
It
I
is.
think it's.
I think you're.
Yeah, and you said tarded earlier too.
Yeah, but you know what?
Is it
Though?
sexist incorrect? Can it be both those things?
I think you would.
Yes, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, you can be correct when
Well,
you're being sexist.
I'm across the bar from 2 guys with 4 girls, and they have all these breakfast in bed stories. I'm back here on this side with 2 boys, 0 breakfast.
Yeah,
breakfast
you
in
wake
bed
up to the
stories. Yeah.
waft of shit.
Yeah, but
coming from the
you've got
back.
2 boys, which means your wife is getting breakfast in bed from the boys.
We
'Cause-
don't do that either. She doesn't eat breakfast.
Neither do I.
Details.
Another
thing.
But all of a sudden here I am eating pancakes, drinking espresso before I wanted to get up. But you know what? Again, not upset.
Yeah.
Just was like the nicest way to usher me into a day that wasn't going to be great. You know, like, hey, you're up early. Come on down. So
Let's get this espresso in you to get the.
just enough
Yeah,
to get
just-
you out of that
yeah,
bed
yeah,
and
yeah.
downstairs.
Let's get
before
this
you
shit day
want to.
going.
So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, and anytime you have espresso before you brush your teeth,
Ooh.
you've really set yourself into a
Yeah.
stanky situation. So my breath is kicking. I brush my teeth, drag downstairs, and like, all right, let's get the day going. And then one of my daughters is like, hey, everyone, all the kids leave. She's like, I want to go outside. I was like, cool, let's go outside. Like she wanted to play Fortnite out here. I was like, cool, I'll go unlock, set up. I come out here, and the first thing I do when I come in here before turning on anything else is I turn on my turtle light because I want the turtle to have as much time in
Yeah.
the sun as possible.
Yeah, because he's got the specialty light.
Yes, and he needs that for his
Yeah.
shell growth and all of that. Now, this turtle and I have been ride or die for, let's call it 15 years.
Yeah.
13, 15 years.
Yeah, I think it's probably 13, but let's call it
Somewhere
13.
in there.
And
That turtle's been here as long as I've been here, and we met when our kids were infants, and our oldest kids are 11 now. So
that turtle has tenure on as long
On your
over
kids.
you.
yeah, for
Like-
sure.
Like I didn't even know you. And hey, yeah,
It's like tenure on your
yeah.
kids.
Yeah, that turtle's been around forever, and that was brought over by the white knight. Caught it while fishing inside of the mouth of a
I was
fish.
gonna say, tell everybody the story who didn't already know.
So he pulls out. He catches a largemouth bass, pulls it out, and inside of that,
pulls the hook out of the mouth.
when he's pulling the hook out, he sees a fish in there inside the fish's mouth.
Yeah,
So he flips the fish out. Behind the fish, lodged in this fish's throat, is a turtle smaller than a quarter.
yeah.
Yep.
And he fishes that out of the fish and throws it in a Gatorade bottle. And he's like, hey, I know you got a fish tank sitting out in your man room with nothing in it. How about a turtle? And I was like, hell yeah. So I
Yeah.
went and hooked him up. My wife just
Update.
chimed in.
Oh,
It is good, but not great. See, this is a divisive beer.
she's a 2.5.
That's a 2.5.
She's a 2.5.
Down the middle, yeah.
Yeah. See, it goes right in line.
Thanks for the update. That checks out.
That is wild. So I've had this turtle forever. The fish, many fish have come and gone, but I've always
You
known
moved with it.
these turtles. Yeah, multiple homes. Like, I know turtles aren't the kind of like pet that people love,
Yeah.
but to me, I think turtles are the shit. And I come walking out here this morning, and the turtle is upside down at the bottom of the tank,
Doing a backstroke?
legs out.
Just kicking it.
She said I wouldn't go out of my way to get it.
It's a 2.5.
So that's maybe a 2. I'm dropping.
But I
at a half
wouldn't
point.
turn it down if it was the
Oh, back
last
to a
thing
2.5.
to
Back
make.
to a
There you go.
2.5. Back to a 2.5.
That's good. Yeah.
Right down the middle.
It's the divisive devil's backbone. You never know what you're going to get.
That's
So.
funny. She's right there.
Yep.
So I come out and I find my ride or die buddy,
Oh.
and I sit out here all the time. Like that turtle would eat from my hand.
Yeah.
You know, like I'd pull turtle stuff out.
I
hang
have
it
fed that
over.
thing all the time.
Yeah, he would come up and he would just eat out of your hand. Like he was a great turtle. We had
He
another
also
turtle.
didn't appreciate his lot in life because I know as long as I've been around, once or twice a year he would get out.
Usually in the spring.
Yeah.
When he smells sex in the air.
Right.
He would climb up to the top and just flop out and
Yeah.
fall the 4 feet to the ground.
Damn.
I have found him upside down from a bad fall.
But wait.
I have found him everywhere in
Found
this
him
room.
wedged behind the tank.
I
Found
found
him
him
under
in
couches.
all kinds of places, and he just But that's what he does. He comes out and walks around. I've lost him for a full day and then seen him come thumping out from underneath the piece of furniture, thump, 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 walking around. I'm like, there's my buddy.
He's been lost for days.
Yeah, he's tough as nails.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday he climbed out of the tank and I caught him underneath the couch, but he took a pretty good fall, I guess.
Yeah.
And I put him back in the tank, and I even told the girls, I said, don't worry about him. Jonah's tough. You put him in the tank, he'll wake up. Watch this. Put him in. It was the slowest revival I've seen to date. Little fact there. Usually, as soon as he hits the bottom, his legs jump out and he swims all around. He hit the bottom and sat there for a good minute before he made any move. And I was like, oh, whew, okay, he moved.
Yeah.
Did he come up for air?
Yeah. Yeah, and he was going about his business yesterday. And he was out here last night, and he even ate last night. But this morning he was upside down dead at the bottom of the tank. So
you think he fell pretty hard and cracked himself?
I think he hit his head on the fall because one of his
every
eyes didn't look
time
right.
he falls out of this tank here and even at your old house, he's
Concrete.
falling on the concrete.
Yeah.
And that's
4
every
feet.
bit of 4 feet, like maybe 4.5. Like So
I
it's
woke
a fall.
woke up to a dead turtle
Damn.
Sorry to hear that.
early in the morning, upset. And so my daughter's trying to play Fortnite, and I'm like,
How'd the girls take it?
I'm like,
Because they love that
Jonah's
turtle.
dead. They were upset. They were
Right.
both upset. And then they're like, Dad, why aren't you crying? And I was like, trust me, I'm very upset, but I'm not.
Yeah.
This is not a cryable moment. Like, unfortunately, I'm just upset.
Yeah, but
Like
you
when
don't,
the dog got
you
put
don't
down,
connect.
I cried.
Yeah.
Do you really connect with a fish or a turtle?
Turtles more so
Maybe,
than
but
fish.
yeah, but
Speaking of
nowhere.
fish, Jonah murdered a lot of fish.
Fuck yeah.
Wait, was Jonah the one that got chased around by the other?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember we had a
His
bigger,
whole last 3 years was like running around for his life.
his heart probably took a bit. But then I took that turtle out of here, gave it back.
Yeah.
Troy
Yeah.
dropped it off in a pond by his
Yeah.
house because I was like, I can't have this turtle in here. This is Jonah's house. So I made that move. Now I wish we had Squints back.
I
'cause
know.
it's like, I'd only have one turtle.
Yep.
But I would have felt horrible had Squints killed him over time. So
Yes.
the turtle was dead. That was kind of a crappy start to the day. I'm like holding a dead turtle. I buried him. After everybody left, I buried the turtle. I didn't just chuck him over the fence. That's how you know you gave a crap.
Yeah.
If you take the time to bury it versus throw it over the
Yeah.
fence.
Or flush it down the toilet.
Yeah.
So the girls are okay?
Yeah, they're a little bummed out.
I mean, that turtle's been around long. Like, they've only known your tank to have that turtle in it. Like, it's
Yes.
never not had that turtle in it.
and they know they can feed it by hand, and he
Yeah.
would come out and show. Look, as far as a turtle goes, he was a
It was
Yeah.
a cool one.
damn good
Did they
turtle.
take it as an opportunity to say, Dad, we want to go get a new turtle?
No, they said they want a guinea pig, and I said, that's fine, but it has to live in the fish tank.
Can it swim?
Does it swim?
That would be dope. If you had a guinea pig just swimming around that fish tank, kicking its little legs, and it comes up and sat in the sunlight for a little while and then jump back in.
Swims around. That would actually be the coolest guinea pig ever.
That would be cool.
But so yeah, the damn turtle dies, and I'm like, that sucks. I'm bummed out. So I go inside. I'm doing my thing. I pick up my phone. I open it up, and then the phone goes, bzz, and like the whole screen just goes dark.
Oh,
By
wow.
itself?
And then I'm
You didn't
looking
drop
at the
it or
phone.
something?
No,
No?
I'm looking at the phone. Everything's perfectly fine.
So
Looking at the phone, all of a sudden it goes, bzz, and I'm like, oh, yo, what the heck? So did a full reset on the phone, came back on, it worked a little, then all of a sudden now it's like half the screen is dark.
right.
So now my phone ain't working. So that's another death that kind of hurts, Your
Definitely
phone
hurts the pocket.
Yeah, it's going to hurt the pocket.
Okay, so they come in threes.
Yeah. Dude, I mean,
Where's the third one? You got the turtle, you got the phone, and then nothing else.
I
You
don't-
should get an
This is it.
Apple.
Okay.
You should get an iPhone.
Or you just didn't get a chance to
Not
sleep
getting
in.
an iPhone. No, okay. So didn't get to sleep in is not really a crusher, right? But that's fine because I was brought breakfast. That's a positive.
That's good.
Like that was a 50-50 right there. Like thank you for being sweet.
Right.
Oh, wish I wasn't up right now. And then it's like, oh, the turtle's dead. That sucks. Go inside. Phone dies. Dang it! What the hell is this? Then I'm like, all right, you know what? I got this new paint job on the truck, and it rained last night, and like all the dust that was on it is now streaking down the side of the paint, and I'm like, oh crap, like that paint's still curing.
Yeah.
I don't want that stuff on there.
I was wondering when I walked up here, I was like, did he wax it or did he do something? Because it's sitting in a position where you'd usually be cleaning it.
Yes. So I went and got a hose, fire that thing up. Hose doesn't quite reach. So I have one of those like expandable hoses.
Yeah,
You know, the
yeah.
ones that like blow up.
The
and then
pocket hose.
Yep, exactly. The pocket hose.
It pop on you?
So I said, yeah, it exploded.
Did it?
Yeah, I
No
set
way.
up the stupid pocket
Yep.
hose so I can rinse the damn thing. It expands, fills out, and I'm like, all right, here we go. And then as soon as I'm doing it, it's like, boo, water pressure. I look over, and there's water spraying all over my yard. I'm like, son of a bitch.
I love those hoses. I've had a bunch, and everyone's done that. They all do that over time.
Can I tell you what?
That's good to know at least. All right, no, it's not over.
No. I was tell you what. When you said you brought out the hose, my very first thought, and you were talking about the dust and everything, is that you brought out the hose, started spraying the truck down, and the paint just starts to go away.
No, oh god,
That would
no.
be-
No. So then
Slough off.
I just had to fill up a bucket in the freezing cold of just water with some sponges.
Right.
Like rubbed it down. So now my hands are freezing, and I'm doing like the dry off, or get your hands
So
under
you
the
just wash it
warm
with
water.
clean water just to get the dirt off
Exactly.
of it? No soap or anything?
Yeah. So did that. Then I come inside. Now there's this lake house that I found that I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a really good deal.
Yeah, the one by me.
It's right by you. I've like,
Yeah, you guys were
I've-
talking about it.
I've got the wife totally sold on it, but the price is so low that I'm like, holy crap. Like this could be a good deal. And it's right by Troy. So I'm thinking this is amazing. So I hit up my real estate agent. I'm talking to him.
It's
about
literally
it.
across the cove. Like, we'd be able to wave at each other across
I could
the water.
swim across the water
Yeah.
to his house, which would be the preferred way to visit. The swim.
The swim.
Would be pretty cool.
But it'd also be fun to take a drunk golf car ride, too.
Around the point.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So I'm like, all right, this is great. It's by Troy. Like the price is super low. Like I'm a big fan of that. So I'm looking at it. And my agent's like, yeah, I'll call you tomorrow. We'll talk about that.
What's going on?
No, he hits me up this morning. He's like, so there's a little problem with that house. It's like the base of it is built on a mobile home, and then they built all this other stuff around it.
Did they ever put piers underneath it?
Oh, they've got all that. The problem is that in order to purchase a mobile home, you have to have the VIN number and like the proper paperwork. Apparently, somewhere in the past, all of that has been lost, so the home doesn't exist. So you cannot finance it.
Yep.
You cannot technically own it because if they ever discover the VIN, whoever had the VIN, because since it's not going to be on any paperwork that transfers, will still own it.
So have you ever seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah,
Somebody was scraping off on a for a
somebody
purpose.
scraped it up. So now,
No, what happens is in
Over time,
my
yeah.
neighborhood is people buy a camper or they buy something and then they build around it and then they demo out the original camper. So they
Yeah.
probably demoed out wherever the VIN number was on it and lost the paperwork because I think the same family is owned. I know that house. I think the same family's owned that house for 20-some years. They probably lost the paperwork.
and never
therefore-
thought anything
yeah.
of it.
Yeah, because who cares?
They don't know who. Well, they don't know where
Technically,
where
I
they
could
bought
buy
it
it,
from.
but without the VIN, they'd still own it in some respect. Like if we ever did discover, but you can never finance it. I would have to have the cash outright. I can't finance the house.
Yes, you can.
Well, maybe through some shadiness.
No.
But then think about this.
Call the owners up and say, "Will you own or finance this?"
Okay, but I still can't sell it. You know what I mean? Like
If
I
you
would
go-
go
if you
through the
wanna
same.
sell it.
I would go
Right,
through the
but-
same problem. So basically, that dream was quashed, and basically, in all of these insomnia nights, all I've been doing is like looking at that house, reading stuff, like getting all psyched.
It looked good.
So
It looks
that's the
good.
reason you had that. Because I'm thinking in the back of my head, I know you're a late night guy, but
Yeah, my
something to
brain
keep you
was-
up. Your brain's going, and that's
Yes.
what it was.
So like the
Like, I want
turtle
this house.
dies, the
I want this
phone
house.
dies, the lake house dream dies.
That's
it's
the
like
second
fucking
lake.
noon at this point.
That's the second lake house in my area you've had fall off, and literally
Well, the first
and-
one I screwed up because I
Yeah.
had to go to a wedding. I didn't get to go see it. That one was still the perfect.
Well, you've
home.
had a lot of lake houses fall out from under you.
with little stupid
Yeah.
nonsense. But this one's heartbreaking because
Yeah.
it's like I can't even fix the problem.
And
that doesn't mean I'm
and-
not going
and
to keep
ch-
digging.
yeah.
But
And chat, I mean, your realtor, he didn't know a workaround with local.
he literally writes me and goes, It's impossible to finance this
Impossible.
home unless you have cash. This is not an option." And I'm like,
I feel like
Thanks,
he could
Chad.
make it work, but it's going to involve more work for him than he's willing
for a
to do.
small
Yeah,
commission
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's such a good deal.
Yeah. He's
So-
not selling $1 million home.
Speaking of,
what's your max on a personal
our Venmo account?
Yeah, that's what's your max on a personal signature loan?
I have no idea. I might have to. I'll look into some options.
Because I say just see what the bank will give you based on your name and the fact that you own
But
a
then
podcast.
I still can't sell the fucking thing, which is a concern. Like
you just got to find the right buyer. Yeah,
the same person in our situation. Basically, if I can get them to come down half on the price, we're good.
Well,
the
you know
house
what?
looks great
You know what though?
online.
I'm sure.
Troy, you said that they've been there forever.
Yeah, as far as I know.
I mean, if they owe nothing, if they owe nothing, and they know that they're never going to be able to sell because they have no VIN number.
Yeah,
I mean,
You might be
they
able
might
to
be able to
really
say,
talk
"Look,
them down."
here's cash," and you're
Oh
never
no,
going
the
to sell
other
this
kick of that, you know, how
unless somebody else shows
it
up and
has
says,
like
"Here's
multiple lots.
Yeah.
Like they own all these lots.
And it's 3 lots.
Which I was like, that's kind of brilliant because when you're in these little communities, you have a very small lot. Well, they own 3 of them. Well, it turns out that you got to pay an HOA fee on every lot you own.
So that may or may not be true because I've heard certain lots that are like zoned as double lots, they only have to pay 1
because there's
fee.
It says in the real estate,
But you might have to pay 2.
It says in the real estate agent marks, you have to pay 3 times the homeowner fee.
That sucks.
HOA. Yeah, so I'm like, and so even my wife was like, well, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, don't let that be what holds us back.
Yeah.
Like, but
At this
and then
point,
I come out here and I crack a beer, the very first beer I cracked. I just douched all over my shirt right when we started the show. Like I took my shirt to open it and it exploded all up in my shirt, which was already soaking wet from trying to fix the paint. I'm like, it seems like everything I touch today is a turd and it's getting old. That's all I'm saying. I'm getting frustrated.
It's a bad day.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just a bad day. Now fortunately,
this podcast is awesome.
actually, this is the most fun I've had all day, but
Yeah.
I can't help but think that something else is going to go wrong. But you said it comes in 3s, and I'm at like 5 or 6. And there's every other little thing throughout the day, like little things that don't really aren't too bad. Like this morning, I turned on the TV and the color was all wrong,
Oh, no.
and I'm like, why
But for
is it
you,
doing
that shouldn't
That's
matter.
normal.
No, but it's so bad that I'm going, hey, is there something wrong? And my daughter's like, yeah, it's been doing that for a couple
Oh,
weeks. So it's
no.
like, I also know the TV's about to give out.
Well,
at
the good
any
news
moment.
is
this
TVs nowadays are affordable.
Thank goodness. But it seems
Yeah.
like everything I've touched, if I take a moment to really look at it, it's busted. Something is wrong.
It's just because of the way your days be going, you're more hyper aware to every little minute thing that's just kind of going wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's basically it. Like I'm at the point now where I'm seeing the negative in the day.
Yeah. And that's not like you.
Yeah.
No,
Let's get rid of that.
Jan-
I'm trying. Well,
January 17th. Let's be done with it.
I see 4 empty beers in front of me, so
You're
Feeling
halfway,
better?
You're halfway there.
Oh no, mentally I'm already like, hey,
Hey.
everything's on fire. At least
Good
it's
stuff.
warm.
Yeah.
You know, it's just been one of those days though. I can't seem to catch a break.
We all come across those every once in a while. I mean, you can't avoid them. It catches up to you.
Oh, you know what I saw last night? This is just so like remember a couple weeks ago, maybe it was a couple months now. One of the things I was talking about was because the kids aren't around other kids,
Right.
they're not getting the opportunity to hear like, oh, that's not real, or have those arguments.
Yeah,
and I think
yeah,
we were
yeah.
talking about it in the
Yeah.
context of Santa Claus
Yeah.
in particular.
Yeah.
We were like, you know, if they're not on the bus, they don't get to hear the one dick say.
You mean I got to
there's
do
no
Santa Claus
Santa.
until they're like 15?
Yeah, because
Because they're not
Yeah.
going to know?
the natural course is you're around people, and as they
God
learn
damn it,
things-
you're 32. I'm not doing this any longer.
Kevin, get out of the basement.
Well, last night I'm watching. All the girls are sitting around a table doing their nails,
Yeah.
and they're talking.
Oh,
And the tooth fairy comes up.
Nice.
One of the girls goes, I know a secret about the tooth fairy. And I'm like, oh.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
They have friends. This is the first time they've
Yeah.
seen friends in a
Yeah.
while. Like, let's see how this plays out. And then, like, she keeps hinting, like, I've got a secret about
Yeah,
the
I'm-
tooth fairy.
I got some inside intel here.
And my daughter, and then two of the other girls have divorced parents, and they're like, you know what's funny? The tooth fairy at my dad's house pays a lot more
Of
than the
course.
tooth fairy at my
Yep.
mom's house. And the other girl's like, I've got a secret.
I don't have
a
a
dad. She keeps trying to
Nobody's biting.
Nobody's biting because they're all kind of in bliss.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they're all thinking, well, if my parents aren't married, I'll get twice as much money.
And so the girls that have the divorced parents are like pontificating on the fact that, well, my dad lives in like a richer neighborhood. And so, like, the tooth fairy that's been assigned
to that area.
to that neighborhood has more money.
So they're going down the line that there's more than one tooth fairy?
Yes, so they've already come in their conclusion that there's got to be multiple tooth fairies.
Yeah, of course.
But they're like,
That's
zoned.
science. Yeah.
They're zoned to like poor areas and rich areas.
You don't have the same UPS driver. I mean, you don't have the same, mailman or woman.
It's a different zip code. This is just the little wealthier over here.
Well, we do know there are multiple Santas. Like,
yeah. So they're working through all the stuff.
Yeah.
And my youngest daughter is like all in on, the tooth fairy. Like she's a believer.
Yeah.
Very much so. Finally, the other girl, someone's like, "What's your secret?" And she's like, "My tooth fairy is my mom and dad."
oh,
Boom.
And I get to hear it, right?
yeah.
And I get to watch my daughter in that moment of like crushing news, right?
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, I mean, everyone knows that. A moment prior, she had been defending the reality of the tooth fairy and saying, here's what happens, around here. And they're just pontificating on multiple tooth
So
fairies.
this one girl busted the bubble for all the other kids.
I watched it happen.
So they all were like,
Oh, wait, so
did they all start to like the gears start spinning?
Yes.
They all figured it out.
Like they were all going down the road of there's just got to be different tooth. Like they're figuring out how it works.
So there's only
it must be different.
There's
tooth
one
fairies.
girl who's saying that he's not real. But
Yes.
the other girls are different ages.
Yeah, there's all different ages.
but they didn't
represented.
overpower
And
the
none of
one.
them-
No, because they've all had their disbelief.
Yeah.
But they were making.
Yeah.
They were like, it must be like a boundary thing where they have territories and like.
Because
some
why
pay
would my
more.
dad's tooth fairy pay more than my mom's?
So they're going down this. So I get to watch 4 girls defending the reality of a tooth fairy, and then the one girl like, "Hey,
so you had
shitheads."
your 2 girls and then 3 other girls over.
Correct.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm watching.
Are any
4
of them the
girls.
age of your youngest?
It's kind of a hodgepodge.
Okay.
And just so the one pops the bubble, and you can see all of them go from defending how to oh shit, and then they all start being like, yeah, I mean, yeah, we know that.
They all just try to roll with it.
because they didn't want to
Yeah.
be the dummy, and they were like,
Yep.
because all of a sudden all of their beliefs, as soon as somebody deviated,
But do you think that they all may have had that thought prior
Sure.
to, but didn't
Yeah.
want to be the one that popped the bubble?
exactly, no
And-
one
and
wants to
then
be
this
the one to
girl
step out.
Well,
just
your
said,
logical brain, you're being told tooth fairy is real, so your logical brain, when your dad's tooth fairy gives you more,
Yeah, it's
you
just
go,
trying
well,
to
it must
piece it
be a
together.
different one. Like, you take the path of least resistance.
And all of a sudden, the path of least resistance was just shown to them.
yeah.
Well, it's because it's different parents.
Yeah.
And it's like the light bulb went off while another light bulb dimmed.
Yeah.
And I got to watch it across the whole table. And it was kind of heartbreaking because I'm just sitting there
Yeah.
and like the music's playing, everything's happy, go like
Yeah, but this is the best
everywhere.
case scenario for you as a parent.
So do the girls
Because
ask questions
sometimes a
like
parent-
today or whatever? Like,
What I'm
No,
saying
they
is
haven't
sometimes-
asked any questions yet, but I haven't had a chance either.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't. I'm sure when the next tooth falls out, there will be a conversation. But it's
Yeah.
probably one of those things that just disappeared
Yeah.
as a moment in a sleepover.
But you'll never get you haven't gotten caught being the tooth fairy,
No,
and
but,
you haven't had your girls come up to you and ask you directly yet.
well, I heard my youngest daughter pull this because I did this once. I went to my oldest daughter when she lost a tooth one time, and it had a cavity in it, and I find that just kind of fascinating. So
Yeah.
like, I looked at her and I said, look, the tooth fairy pays you $1, right? I'll give you 2 to not give it to the tooth fairy.
Oh,
and
nice.
And let me keep that one because I kind of want to like see if the cavity grows over time. So like I'm explaining it to her,
Yeah.
even though I'm going to get it either way.
yeah.
But I was like, I'll pay you double to blow off the tooth fairy tonight, which also means I don't have to sneak in that damn room.
Yeah.
Right.
And risk getting caught.
So my daughter's like, 100%? Yeah, 100% markup?
Yeah.
I'm in. So she sells me the
F
tooth.
the tooth fairy.
And so even the younger one brought that up as kind of like my dad bought a tooth
Yeah.
from my sister one
The
night.
tooth fairy didn't come around looking for it that night.
Yeah, and I think it just all of a sudden all those things started clicking. It was
So funny you brought that up because last night we were hanging out with a group of friends that we hadn't seen in a while, and they have 2 boys, and their elf brings them big gifts every year, and this year the elf brought both of them these like dope electric ride-on scooters,
Right.
and they were zipping around the house on it, and we get in the car to go home, and my boys are like,
our elf done.
their elf doesn't, I mean, my elf doesn't bring gifts. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
that's what,
My elf is broke.
yeah.
Yeah, are we zoned into the poor spot?
Yeah, so, well,
What's happening?
yeah, we were visiting in Salisbury, so we were in the upper echelon. So, but I am,
Zoned poor.
like, I'm wondering like if my boys are gonna get together on their own and be like, what the f, like,
Yeah.
what this, like, the gears are gonna turn, like, because they're getting close to the age where like the elf thing makes 0 sense. Like
None.
Santa's more believable than the freaking elf. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
so they got to be
Especially
because
because there was no mention of the elf before 2005.
exactly, yeah. So I'm curious to see how it's all going to play out next year.
Well, I got to see how quickly the guard drops.
Yeah,
Like it was, oh no. But it was
Yeah.
weird to see that. That should have been an indicator today was going to go bad. I got to watch my kid's innocence get popped a little
Yeah.
bit yesterday.
good times.
Still sweet enough to bring me breakfast in bed
Yep, they still
For-
believe in that.
3 hours before I wanted to get out of bed. But it was a good espresso. I'll give him that. Actually, the espresso was the highlight of my day.
Yeah, until now.
Until now.
Yeah.
And now I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, it's been
I'm
a
trying
weird
to think
one.
that.
Yeah, I got it too, Troy. Let's just wrap this thing up.
Well, Stu
We
was going
done?
to say something.
No, that's okay. Okay.
No, go ahead, Stu.
I was just saying your girls watching that transition. It's heartbreaking, but at the same time, you're like, I'm just saying that it's
a part of growing up.
Yeah, it's growing up, and it's
Oh, yeah, no, I'm good with it. I get
Yeah.
that it was going
Yeah.
to happen. What I don't want is a 21-year-old going,
Where's my
where's
tooth
the
money?
tooth
Yeah,
fairy?
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
no. It's perfectly
no
fine.
because it's a bigger issue, like you're saying. Everybody's at home, not around
I'm all
their
for
friends.
keeping the kids.
And I was saying they weren't getting that.
Yeah.
and now they got it.
They had one
caught
time,
up,
and
yeah.
I got to see it play out because I only see a small percentage of their life. Well, this was the first time they were around friends in months. I got to see it play out real quick.
I mean,
'cause-
people joke about it all the time, but there's the yellow school bus education.
yes,
And-
very much so.
Period.
And we've lost a year of school bus education. Well, I got to see it come
Well,
to
that's
fruition.
where
quick.
I've always said going to school is 50% of the education. Like,
Heck yeah.
what you learn in school isn't just what the teachers teach you. It's all the social skills, all the other stuff. Like, that's why going to school is good. So, look, I'm all for keeping my kids innocent as long as I possibly can. But there comes a point where it's like, you're 22 and I'm telling you there's Santa Claus. That's not going to fly. Like,
Yeah, like you need to learn at
Yeah,
some
yeah,
point.
yeah.
It was just odd to be able to see it.
and they're at the right age.
Which
I
is
mean,
one of these
they're
things that
not. They're not 6 and 7. Like they're of the age
No,
where
she just turned 10. I mean, that's about when
they should know.
the bubble
Yeah.
should pop. It's just weird to see it pop.
Yeah.
And see how quickly they stop defending because they've been defending and working out zoning.
Well,
and then,
it benef-
oh my God, you're right.
it benefits to defend it. Like, I want to get that money, so I'm team
Yeah.
I'm team Tooth Fairy all day long.
And they'll still get that money.
Speaking of popping, if you want to wrap this up so you guys don't pop, we can let you
Oh
guys
my
go.
gosh,
Yeah, I'm about to wet my pants.
Break down the fourth wall. These guys are dancing
Oh,
over
they
here.
literally gotta be.
We bobbing. I got we both have a monster and 4 beers in us right now, so
Yeah,
we're
it's
like,
ready to
Yeah.
go.
No, go ahead. I'll carry it for a little while.
Thank you.
yeah. Let's you and I leave and just let Stu talk.
I don't know if
for
anyone-
3
You
minutes.
made the right move. Just cue up the music.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're glad you were with us. This was a good time despite a bad day.
Yeah.
We hope maybe we brightened your day. a
Turn
little
it
bit.
around.
If you get a chance to rate, review, please do so. Or you can head over to InsideThePalletHouse@gmail.com. Send us topics. Lord knows I haven't seen a topic in weeks, so please send one
Step
along.
your game up.
Or you can always head over to the Facebook page. Let us know what you're thinking about it. You can find us at ITPH Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. And there's a Venmo. I believe it's...
It's at Inside the Pallet House. Send us your money.
There you go. I'm only $100,000 short.
Here's the deal. Since you're not rating and reviewing, which is free, send us your damn money. Until then,
That's free too.
And shout out to Flo. Thanks for the Devil's Backbone Bright. That was your first one right there.
And
I loved it.
shout out to Tom Bomb. Happy birthday, Tom
happy
Bomb.
birthday, Tom.
There you go. Cheers, all.
Cheers.
Peace out.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
I do, Troy.